So you've just presented the findings of a 30-year follow-up study on patients with clinical isolated syndrome. Could you summarise those findings for me, please?
Sure. So, I mean, this is a cohort of people who were recruited originally in the 80s, at the beginning of MRI coming into clinical use, and they've been followed up 1, 5, 10, 14, 20, and now 30 years later. And we did this with a view to understanding the evolution of MS in people who have essentially run a full trajectory of their life with the condition, but have actually predated disease-modifying treatments, which came in around 2000. The actual study was undertaken to determine whether or not benign MS exists. Benign MS is very fiercely debated, and obviously there are different perspectives to this, but we were using one of the more accepted definitions based on disability scores, EDSS scores, at 30 years. And what we found was there was an identifiable group of people who had a diagnosis of MS, which we could make on current clinical and radiological grounds, who still had very low levels of neurological disability as measured using EDSS. The flip side of that was that there was a group of people who had progression with MS, or who had their lives shortened by MS, who were distinct from this group. And they were distinct at 30 years, but it was very difficult to determine, based on disability scores, who would have that outcome at 30 years earlier on. We now need to do further work analysing the data to see if we can improve on that, identify disability thresholds, but also use our imaging data to see if we can identify features that would help us counsel people in clinic about where they're likely to be in the long term.